Ever considered why it might be so strenuous to accept new fact-based narratives? It's a question that nudges at the edges of our understanding of human behavior. We, as humans, tend to resist change, especially when it challenges our established beliefs or narratives. It's a survival instinct, a primal part of ourselves that seeks comfort in the familiar, in the known. But what happens when the familiar is challenged by new narratives? By fresh facts that demand our attention? This is where the concepts of the Overton window and memes come into play, painting a vivid picture of the societal discourse. They help us understand how ideas move from the fringe to the mainstream. Alongside, we must also consider the physiology of shame and cognitive shock. These are the emotional and psychological responses that often serve as barriers to accepting new narratives. To comprehend why it's so difficult for us to accept new narratives, we must first understand these concepts. Let's start with the Overton window. Ever heard of it? It's a fascinating concept that represents the range of ideas tolerated in public discourse. Picture a sliding window that can move along a spectrum of ideas, from the most accepted to the most controversial. Over time, this window shifts, nudging society towards new perspectives, influencing how new narratives are accepted or dismissed. Now let's talk about memes. No, not just those funny internet images, but cultural ideas that spread from person to person within a culture. Memes are powerful tools in challenging and reinforcing the Overton window. They can introduce new concepts in a palatable, often humorous way, gradually nudging the window towards acceptance of a new narrative. Conversely, they can also reinforce existing ideas, holding the window firmly in place. So, the Overton window and memes together play a pivotal role in shaping our collective acceptance or rejection of new narratives. Now let's delve into the human aspect of this conundrum, the physiology of shame and cognitive shock. The feeling of shame is not merely a fleeting emotion, it's a physiological response, a defense mechanism hardwired into our system. When our deeply held beliefs are challenged, our body reacts. Our cheeks might flush, our heart rate might spike, and we may even feel a knot in our stomach. This is our body's way of telling us something's not right. Simultaneously, we experience cognitive shock. This is the mental state of being confronted with a reality that conflicts with our deeply held beliefs. It's like a mental short circuit, a moment of confusion and disorientation. Our mind struggles to reconcile this new information with our existing framework of understanding. These twin reactions, physiological and cognitive, can significantly hinder the acceptance of new narratives. They cause us to retreat into the safety of our known beliefs. Our physiological and cognitive responses often act as barriers to accepting new narratives. Having understood these concepts, we can now see how they work together to affect our acceptance of new narratives. The Overton window is a social barometer, measuring the collective tolerance for differing ideas. Memes, on the other hand, are the carriers of these ideas, influencing our perception subtly yet persistently. Meanwhile, our physiological responses, such as the sensation of shame or the jarring cognitive shock, often act as deterrents to embracing new narratives. They serve as our internal gatekeepers, warding off ideas that threaten our established beliefs. However, by understanding this intricate interplay, we can learn to overcome these barriers. We can widen our Overton window, engage constructively with memes, and use our understanding of shame and cognitive shock to challenge rather than reinforce our cognitive biases. By recognizing these influences, we can better equip ourselves to navigate the challenging landscape of new fact-based narratives.